to when I make that call. Never leave me, no forsake me, no. Splitting oceans like a Moses, yeah.
My name is Marvin Smith. I'm a local kid of Southern California. I grew up in Pomona, California. Dad was involved in education. Mother was we would say an entrepreneur those days. Part of the issue was, I had to go to school. But in the process of going to school, I really loved sports. I ended up being a phenomenal athlete, as one might say. So I did well, played all major sports. And then after high school, I had the opportunity to go on to college on scholarship. And I graduated with honors, led me into an opportunity to play in the National Football League. And when I had signed two contracts. I signed a contract with the Rams, come in as a rookie, and I signed a contract with Hughes Aircraft Company to come into an intern managementship program. But due to a knee injury, which really complicated the situation, and this is when, here it is, I think it's going to be my glory days, I have this injury. Career-ending injury. So long story short, so the injury put me in a position where the team wanted to release me and just release me outright. And what they said is that your local kid will pick you up about mid-season when we need linebackers. We signed this piece of paper. And being a little insightful, what I did was I did not sign the paper because that paper was basically stating it's a formal release from the club. And I knew I was injured, and I'm walking away with no compensation and no recourse. So I didn't sign, and through the process, it came to a point where it was a battle. I ended up filing a suit against the Rams, which ended up being the National Football League, and went through a 3-year ordeal in the process, and won my case. As a matter of fact, it was the first in the history of the National Football League for a wrongful termination. In the process of winning this case, I was called out my name. The league even told me that if I were to pursue the lawsuit, that they are the only game in town, and if I went that route, I would never play again. And I did go through it. I won. And it was interesting, even after winning the suit, I should have walked away with at least a 6-figure payout. The judge says, ruling in favor of Smith, compensation $1. He said, remember that contract you signed? I go, yes. It says, when you read through it in the small print, it says, if there's any grievance or anything going on, it would have to be binding arbitration. And I, as a kid, I was 24, 20, I said, what does that mean? I said, wait a minute, come on, you win the case but you only get $1? So anyway, it was a Players Association, the National Football League, PA, who handled my case. We won the case, and my attorney said, this is a landmark case. It's the first time in history, and this was in 1985, that we finally have a case now going forward to set statute. But I had the opportunity to help orchestrate one of the largest lawsuits in the history of the United States, which was about the traumatic brain injury with NFL players. And I had a colleague, a friend, Dr. Daniel Amen, who we collaborated to do a pilot study, and that pilot study is what opened up this major case, which was not the plan, but just amazing how God works. So because of the background, because I stayed in school, because of I was doing an internship in management with the corporation, I was able to transition real quickly and be in the corporate world. And I did the corporate world for some years, and was really doing really well. And I just got to the point, just feeling my heart, there was more to life than wearing suits and looking like everybody around me. And we talked about it, prayed about it, and we basically quit our jobs so we can go back into the community and help kids. Years later, I stayed involved with the NFL Players Association. In 2008, I became the president for the LA chapter, which I held that position for 6 years. But it was all about being actively involved. After being bitter, then I turned around, here it is years later, I'm still involved. and the heart's still there because helping players, even these younger players, the game is the same but much different. The money's different. I mean, you have to work a second job. When I played, I mean, these guys, the money they're making, if they get the right contract, they're set for life. And the average player, after 5 years, they've lost it, everything. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I know what some of the problems are, and some of the things that I've been advocating and voicing for years. I just believe it's one of those things that you just keep advocating for what's right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So you just keep moving forward. But early on, I gave my life to the Lord to be a follower of faith of Jesus Christ. Not religious, not all the religion stuff, but really seeking the spiritual aspect of really what it means to be a believer. So I've been on a journey for 30 years, and so part of my life, what I do today is we have a very non-traditional church that we have at our house, and get the opportunity and blessing for young adults, millennials, to come and hang out, and my wife and I get the opportunity to support into their lives and just love on them and talk to them about principles and how those principles line up to life. Somebody said, if you had to do it again, and it happened just like that, would you do it? And I would go, yeah, I would. I mean, because in retrospect, looking back, I don't think I'd be where I'm at today because of that experience that didn't go right in my mind and my what I envisioned. It still went right because it helped propel me to do other things that was more of a heart condition.
It's not a surprise, just take a look and just open your eyes. Flock automated is telling you lies, evil deception that come in disguise. Don't really care if it ain't about Christ, it's one or the other, I gotta decide. Matter of fact, I've been made in my mind, got it made up and I turn it around.